everyone, and welcome to Portal 64, your gateway to Sparks. I'm your host, David, and we're reacting to RWBY Volume 7, Episode 5, or Chapter 5. I'm sorry, I slipped up there. Yeah, anyway, I need to give a big heads up. Chapter 4, there was a recording error because I somehow ran out of memory space on the disk drive I record on. That file didn't save correctly, and I had to reenact it as best as I could. I had some assistance from the whole Team RWBY. Yang was the only one within sort of arm's reach. So anyway, please watch that. I worked very hard on it. I did a live stream where I edited it, so like some people know the effort I put into it in the editing side at least. And also you should check out Vitalcast number 87. That's the episode with Lee Stays Dabbing that we talked about this chapter. And so yeah, just watch those. RWBY Volume 7, surprisingly great volume. Been very harsh on the channel. So anyway, this one shouldn't be corrupted because I uninstalled anything in relation to Blizzard or Activision. So yeah, I got plenty of space. I could record 12 of these. Let's get started with the episode. As always, I'm gonna have the link in the description down below, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that's a screensaver. Mutation! I love
Good morning,
Penny.
Team RWBY.
Penny, what time is it even?
Time to be huntresses, of course.
I love this pose. Oh, it's so anime. How does Jean treat this guy?
Sure, take it.
What?
Eyes up, huntsman. Time to get used to the new normal in Atlas.
Oh yeah? Are
Your
we?
top priority is Amity Tower. That means protecting supply runs from Grimm and bandits. And protecting the
Oh my
sites.
gosh! We're seeing ice variations of them.
Diverting all construction
so
resources to
cool.
Amity Tower means there are going to be gaps in Atlas'
She's
defenses against
braiding
Grimm.
his tail.
They'll need help on the perimeter.
Whoa boy.
Hey, have you two ever thought about branching out a little? You always pair up, but I don't know if your styles really...
Yang! Yang's like, don't call me out, bro! Don't call me out! Oh my gosh.
Really,
I
really
love-
good stuff.
I love
Yeah,
that look.
Keep it up.
I love that look. These
But
yes!
there's still plenty to do.
Yes!
in
The
Atlas.
thirsty moms!
Yeah?
Yes! Okay, sorry.
I
Trying to
think
give
you'll find everyone
She's like,
appreciates
please.
how
She's
you
like,
hunt.
please. Oh my gosh.
Totally the haircut.
She's so friendly.
You're of course free to enjoy your time off as you see fit. Whatever
Yes,
helps you take the edge
siblings.
off.
More siblings! Oh.
You might not hear calls anymore, Oscar, but that doesn't mean we can't try to jog
Oh,
you loose.
finally, Oscar's back.
did you
Where you
have
been,
in mind?
boy? You should have been in the last episode.
The huntsman around you can be an invaluable resource.
Dude, this is reminding me of Halo 5's, whatchamacallit mode. Thank you,
Have you ever
Vine.
thought about
Thank you for
extending your aura? But make no mistake, school's over. You get to choose what type of huntsman or huntress you are.
Yeah, they get to choose what type of missions they do, how they hold themselves. Again. Oh my gosh, they're racing. They should create a tournament. Dude,
So,
I like how they're all starting to
What's
get
it gonna
together.
be?
Yes! 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 Oh my gosh!
Are you supposed
Team
to be
Funky!
fat?
Yes! Yes!
Wow, your boyfriend's actually
Oh,
holding
we're
his
seeing their
own.
other member. Where's the fourth
energy when
one?
he's around you?
Oh my gosh. I'm just glad Meg is working with Rooster Teeth. Dude, there's a guy. Be nice. Okay, good job, Oscar. He can hold himself. That's good. Oh man. Oh, he looks like a proud Iron Daddy. Oh man. Oh, she's got nowhere to run. No, no, someone's there. Someone ought to be there. Nora's like, no, I'm best redhead in this episode.
Amazing. You guys have really improved since the Vital tournament. And that cute farm boy had a few surprises for us, too.
Ooh. Woohoo. Haha.
Well, you really had us on our toes. Thought you had us there for a second. Whew.
Oh, come on. It was way more than a second.
You guys busy? Want to grab some lunch?
Do we? I could
Dude.
eat a sandwich the size of Cobalt.
Dude, they've been nailing the comedy in this episode.
Ah, man.
Or this volume.
We'd love to, but,
Duty calls.
Oh,
Maybe
boy.
some other time?
No worries. The next time you're free, just let us know.
yeah, next time.
Hey, Ivory, if you're gonna go get Froyo.
I wonder if Team
There's
Funky are
still
official
time for sandwiches, right?
hunters. Because
Not that I'm
Team
bored,
Ruby and
but
Juniper were only
why
kind of
can't
giving
we
it
just use
because
an
they're
airship to take these supplies to Amity?
The components for Amity Tower's construction are far too heavy. All that weight would require precious dust we should be saving for the launch itself, and the grim that will come after.
It just makes
Man.
for long, very long
Is she gonna fall asleep on Penny's
supply
shoulder?
runs.
At least the tundra
Oh.
is scenic.
Totally.
Oh.
Ruby, I just wanted to say how
Ruin
excited
the
I
moment.
am to be working with you in a professional capacity. As friends,
Me too, Penny.
Wait a second, this is
relationships
our
are
first
so
time with the
interesting
two of them.
and varied.
Ah!
Speaking of
I was
friends,
literally asking for this.
have you been able to make any new ones
Oh.
since, you know?
Now that I'm the official protector of Mantle, I don't really have a team anymore. General Ironwood says I don't have time for friends.
Oh,
Dude,
uh,
Ironwood.
how
Take
do
me.
you feel about that?
I feel like I wish I could do both the things I need to do
Mhm.
and the things I want to do. Is
Please
that
don't
normal?
copy and paste yourself.
That's about as normal as it gets, Penny.
Everything
going all right up there?
She's very human.
Just fine, Uncle Crow.
Where's the crow? Oh my gosh.
I win again. Maybe
Where?
we should call it quits. Shut up and deal. Your niece sure is one of a kind, huh?
Which
they all
one?
are. Been through a lot together.
Oh, is he talking about
It's a
Silver
good
Eyes?
thing they had someone to look up to and get them through it.
Hmm.
Not everyone is so lucky.
I don't know about
all that. Thanks, by the way, for looking out for them. You and your
Oh.
team. What good is saving the world without another generation waiting in the wings? Hopefully, they'll leave Remnant better than we left it for them.
That's nice.
Once upon a time, I'd have drank to that. You shouldn't do that, you know? Don't worry, I gave that up. I meant deflect a compliment. Those
Ah.
kids wouldn't be where they are without you. You've had more of an effect on them than you realize.
Thing.
Uncle Crow.
Crow doesn't give himself enough
What's
credit
going on?
for what he's been
Grim?
doing.
No. Worse. You two with me, Penny.
Oh, is it
put a
gonna be
keen eye
Robin
on our
and her
six.
happy
We
huntresses?
may need an element of surprise.
Affirmative. I will plan for
If it-
6 possible outcomes.
6. Yeah, you know, if it wasn't for Adam being dead, I would have totally guessed this would have been like a White Fang faction. Hey, little lamb. Is her name Mary?
All right, ladies, time to show them our teeth.
Wait, she said ladies. I'm guessing there's some more hiding amongst the
Robin!
cliffs or even
Well,
behind
if it
them
isn't
now.
Mantle's hometown hero. Is there a reason you're blocking an official military transport?
Clover, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you can help me understand why this truck that's
This is
supposed to be
Christina
taking
V.
construction materials to fix Mantle's outer wall is on its way to the middle of nowhere. Are you lost?
Classified mission.
It's pretty easy to get turned around out here in the tundra. Everything looks the same. Thanks for checking up on us, though. We'll be on our way now.
I was hoping you'd play it straight with me. What's Ironwood doing with Amity at the old SDC mine?
We can't say.
Oh,
Classified.
that. Just giving her an annual checkup.
The next Vital Festival isn't anytime soon. Only
Yeah.
automated drones and a few select Atlas scientists are allowed out here. And Amity's
Then
getting
why are you out
invaluable resources we need in Mantle to protect against Grim.
Yeah.
Seems like more than just a checkup.
Ooh, boy.
You've been scoping it out.
We can't fix the wall without the supplies on these trucks. I think Mantle deserves to know what they're being used for.
Yeah, and that's how all the Grimm have
Doesn't have to
been
be
getting in,
difficult.
huh?
Just tell me.
I'm going to have to pass on that.
Oof.
How about you, Pipsqueak? 5 o'clock shadow? Either of you want to tell me why Mantle's being put at risk for Ironwood's pet project?
We're trying to help, Mantle.
That's enough, Robin. As a potential councilwoman, you should probably focus on the election instead of harassing huntsmen. Now, it's time to let us pass.
I think you've misjudged the situation.
I'm sensing a fight.
One way or another, these supplies are going to get where they're supposed to go. Mantle.
Then I suggest you do that through the proper legal channels as a council.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you get arrested, you can't
get elected.
Run.
Now, where's the fun in that?
Oh. Okay. Viva la revolution. Oh boy. Penny.
Robin Hill, I would like to politely ask that you
She
call
does have
off
the
the
strings.
huntresses approaching the rear of the truck.
Oh. I guessed it. There were people hiding.
All right. Joanna! May!
Wait, they can cloak themselves? Is that due to a device?
The protector of Mantle, huh?
Let us through. Please.
She said, please, guys. Please. Please. Pretty please. Okay. I wonder if this is part of her strategy, is to, like,
Robin,
put up a face, let them through.
good luck at the election.
It seems, I mean, obviously they've crossed paths multiple times, but I wonder if
That was a
at
close
some
one.
point they were
You're
friends.
telling me.
What now?
I want to know why Amity Coliseum is suddenly so important.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Man, Robin, I had a whoa, jeez. Oh man, seems like Weiss is, Weiss seems to be struggling a little bit more with her control compared to Winter.
Your technique still has those maddening, sloppy touches. But you've learned how to make them work for you. You've made them your own.
Oh.
Wow. That was very close to a compliment.
I didn't intend it that way.
We all make mistakes, I guess.
You've grown up a bit,
I'm
haven't
so
you?
happy we're having
You're not the little girl
sister
clinging to
time.
the family name anymore.
Since Beacon, I haven't really had a choice. Father's view of the world no longer matches with mine.
Whatever the case, I am glad to see you've moved on. Distancing myself from the Schnee name is the most beneficial thing I've ever done.
Oh.
We can move forward without him. Together. I know General Ironwood would have a place for you.
Oh, but I don't know.
I
if
would be
that's-
grateful to him if he did. But I'm not sure I could accept.
Yeah, she's got her team.
Really?
It's just,
It's
our
Playboy
kingdom
team.
isn't supposed to be like this. Fearful and withdrawn. We should be opening our borders to help the world, not closing them down.
We will, though. Once we've weathered the storm, we will. I know the General hasn't done everything perfectly, but he's doing what he thinks is right.
He's trying his
Everybody
best, even though
thinks
it's
what they're doing is right. But usually they're just looking out for themselves and their secrets.
Ironwood isn't keeping secrets.
No, Weiss,
Not for
don't.
me.
Weiss, don't.
Can you be sure?
Okay. Don't let Winter know.
Come with me.
Okay.
There's something I want to show you.
Okay. I'm glad it's Winter put in a little trust in Weiss, but I don't know why I'm having a little bit of worry right there that Weiss was about to say something. Are they gonna show her the Winter Maiden? Is that where it's going? You're going in a basement? Is it gonna be their grandmother? grandmother? Maybe? Oh man. Cameras everywhere. This ought to be heading to the vault, right? Right? I'm not crazy for thinking that. Where are you going, Winter? Yeah, that has to be the maiden. She's a paint set up there. Okay, white. Yeah, Winter is definitely acting more like a caretaker. Like, they have a familiar bond, maybe? This is definitely the Winter Maiden.
That's the Winter Maiden.
Yeah.
She could pass any day now. Until that happens, I'm the only person Freya's allowed to see.
Oh, they're setting Winter up to be the Winter Maiden. We're gonna get Winter.
What's chosen you to be the next when she dies?
Oh no.
How long have you known?
Since Beacon fell.
Doesn't it bother you?
Oh man.
He practically groomed your whole military career.
It did at first, when the general first proposed it to me. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw it as a privilege. A chance to do some real good for Atlas. For Remnant.
But your destiny was chosen for you, without your input.
Perhaps. But I'm choosing it now. I've made it my own, and I take great pride in it. That has nothing to do with Father or the General. That belongs to me.
I guess we've both had to do a little bit of that.
I'm happy for Winter.
Carving out our own way.
I do have...
I suppose we have.
Some scary death flags coming up, I feel.
Speaking of the family name...
Oh boy.
What is he doing?
Oh boy, it's election time.
If I'm elected councilman, I've made it no secret that I will be opposing General Ironwood and his senseless embargo that is crippling all of Atlas. It is my belief that these measures are not only reckless, but criminal.
Criminal, because I'm not being as rich as fast as I want.
I know many are suffering, and my family has been weathering the same storm.
Yeah, these guys are like, we're not buying this.
Effective immediately, I'm forced to shut down all non-essential SDC operations.
What?
If elected to office, I will make the changes necessary to fix what Ironwood has broken.
So he's basically putting everything on hold.
Before the vote, can you trust anyone else to stop Ironwood?
He's really being manipulative.
Will Robin Hill be able to get your jobs back?
Dude. See, he's not even like willing to let it question. He's kind of shutting down the free speech.
I think Father may have just provided the spark that's going to set this kingdom on fire.
Yeah, because he's cutting off the resources that they need. And he's basically like, give me what I want and you'll get your stuff back. Oh crap, oh boy. Wow, thanks Jacques. We totally love you. Thank you, Eddie, for writing this episode. It's very good. I just want to see, I'm pretty sure it was Christina V that voiced Robin, because we know she was added on for the cast. Where is the Robin? Wow, I'm surprised Ruby is so low on the thing. Like, Flint is over Ruby. That's interesting. Robin. Where is Robin? Do I have to hit? Okay, alright, I'm gonna have to hit. What? Hold on, rewind. 5 seconds, okay. Hold on.
The lid.
Okay, starring the voices of, and then where is... Okay, there's Robin, right underneath Crow. It took me a while. Christina V. Yeah, we guessed it. Good job, fandom. We deducted it together, because I don't watch Miraculous Ladybug. Cal and a few other friends watch that, so when they heard that Christina V was coming on to RWBY, they're like, oh boy, she better be put onto a very important character. And of course, like, Robin is like the newest, most important character that we likely have. So yeah, dang. Okay, I'm surprised, like, Penny is at the top of the list, and then like Yang is right underneath that, and Yang didn't have speaking lines, I think. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm just used to like Team RWBY being at the top. This is just an interesting. Anyway, I'm being distracted by dumb stuff, but man, this episode, this episode is like definitely like queuing it up for some crazy stuff that's gonna happen, and it's definitely gonna attract more Grimm, which I think Jacques is planning. I don't know. I can understand like him working with Watts. And Watts, like, hacking voting booths. Like, that's the route I was thinking of. But, like, I don't know. Jacques, we know, is a manipulator. And he's definitely purposely manipulated the situation to have people feel like they're going to depend on him to get their stuff back and to blame Ironwood. Because he's like, oh, the embargoes that hurt me so much. But they're going to affect you now because I'm shutting down all the necessities that you guys need. Like, we know the world runs on dust here in Remnant, so him shutting down everything, that's like shutting down the gas stations almost. That's like shutting down their self-defense shops. It's shutting down everything, and the people are gonna go crazy. I mean, they're going crazy already, but like tensions were already high, and him being like, oh hey, people are already angry at Ironwood. Let's make them just a little bit more angry. Although I hope there's someone smart out there to be like, hey, be angry at Jacques for shutting down the dust stuff. I hate Jacques so much. And also, like, we joked about Winter, and now this episode has pretty much confirmed Winter, but that's also made me worried that Winter is now going to have death flags. I don't know why. That scene where she's like talking about the Winter Maiden and all that, and she's talking about her destiny and like taking her fate into her own hands by like choosing to go along with this instead of fighting against it. I don't know. I just fear for Winter, because it's like that maiden's gonna die, and I wouldn't be surprised if like right after that maiden dies, Winter comes shortly after her, because as she said, he set a spark and things are about to like start hitting the fan. Like Ironwood is gonna have to do something fast, like whether it's like announcing Amity Arena and being like, yo, hey, this is our plan, da 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 da. I wonder what Robin is gonna do in terms of the election with all this, because we know now that she's aware of Amity Arena, and she's definitely gonna kind of go along the same lines as Jacques, probably being like, hey, look, Ironwood, he's taking a lot of the much-needed resources that could be used to plug in the hole to stop the Grimm from invading the city, but instead he's going to Amity Arena, and he's being a little shady with it. And because there's no transparency, it's shady, you know? I'm pretty sure if he just announces the plan of like, oh yeah, it's gonna be the tower to connect the world all together, and if the other towers go down, we'll avoid a global conflict, then I think people would be a little bit more on ease with that until he drops the Salem bomb. And then people are going to be, you know, not so happy with that again. I have to say, I really appreciate the sisterly bonding between Winter and Weiss, but then also we had that little moment with Yang and RWBY. Like, that was very nice. It was nice to see, you know, just sisters being together, especially Weiss and Winter, because we've been so deprived of that. Winter is seeing Weiss grow up, like she's seen and acknowledging the growth Weiss has had since Volume 3, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna let you in on a big secret, because I don't know how many people in the Atlas military, or like I imagine it's Ironwood, Penny, the Aesops, and Winter that knew about the Winter Maiden, and Winter being the one next in line for that. And it's I don't know, that scene just felt heavy to me, with Winter being like, yeah, I'm next in line to be the maiden, I'm the next one in line to have a target on their back from Salem. Like, it's something. I'm just scared for Winter. I love her, and I love like the bond we see in this episode, and also in like volume 3 in that one chapter with her and Weiss. And it's just, I don't want to see that torn away from Weiss, because Weiss, as far as like blood family goes, like we just know about her and Winter getting along, and we assume she cares about her mom because of the previous episode when Jacques used her mom as a manipulation tool to guilt her. And it's just, I just don't want Winter ripped away from Weiss. Like, that would tear me to bits, kind of like Penny, which was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Like, we get to see quite a bit more of Penny. We get to see a bit more into her life. RWBY asking, hey, have you made friends, other than me? And it was really sad to see that, like, Ironwood, who for the most part we've been kind of calling him Iron Daddy, and like I made the comment, like, he looked like a proud dad watching all the training sessions, that he is kind of the reason why Penny is like isolated from everyone else. Like, she's just kind of being the superhero of Mantle pretty much, but she's not having any of that social time. Like, does he forget they put a soul into Penny? Like, she has a genuine soul and can produce aura, and that she has those emotional needs that everyone else has, like, even though she's just nuts and bolts, like, she has... Is that a snowplow? Okay. She still has those emotional needs to socialize and like have friends and have a bond, and that must be why she's so ecstatic to have seen RWBY return, because RWBY was the one person that gave Penny that social life. And even when before she was torn to bits in volume 3, it was kind of clear that like RWBY was the only one who got to see and spend a lot of time with Penny. Even though Penny had a team, her relationship with them seemed very strictly professional, especially with the person that was like at the time. Also using this to like look at a message, but yeah, I don't know. It was kind of interesting and to see that side of Penny. And also, I was very happy that we finally had a scene of Penny and RWBY, although it didn't quite deliver what I was expecting or thinking of, which is interesting because so far this volume, up until this episode, I felt like was very quickly answering questions that were rising up from the fandom, like very specifically. Like in chapter 4, when RWBY made the comparison of her and Ozpin, that was like straight out of our mouths. So in this episode, it was like, oh, Penny and RWBY, they're sort of alone. I guess they had the driver and then Crow and Clover in the back. So maybe it wasn't like the private moment that RWBY would have wanted to talk about. Like, hey, seeing you ripped to parts like messed with my head, and seeing you back, I'm still trying to process that. Like, I feel like maybe with this episode, and I said already, I don't know where it will go in the sequence, but this episode very much feels like a setup episode, and that scene kind of felt like the setup to maybe lead on to that conversation. Like, that conversation may still happen. I'm really hoping. But I don't know. I love a good girl Penny, and I don't know. It's very hard to see Penny sad, and then also, speaking of people in the truck, Crow, like, I'm really liking his relationship with Clover, like them, being bros, and also just Clover very much likes to give Crow compliments and like let Crow have an opportunity to acknowledge himself, because he's like, oh yeah, those kids, I drink to that, but I kind of been putting down the bottle. And it kind of makes me think that maybe his drinking wasn't an addiction. It was more of a deliberate choice he was making, because there are people that are that way. I don't want to dive into like the portrayal of him and his alcoholism, but he's been very much kind of down on himself and been like not giving himself the credit he deserves. And I think he forgot that he used to be a teacher and also taught RWBY how to use a scythe, and so he does deserve quite a bit of the credit of like helping raise the next generation and making them great, and like also keeping them safe during volume 4. He was a huge part of that. Like, I bet if he didn't show up when he did, Tyrion totally would have killed Ren and Nora, probably. And then Jean, he said, was interesting, so I don't know what he would have done with Jean. And then Ruby, you know, we know he was gonna... I believe they wanted her alive. They wanted her alive, so he was gonna capture her. So if it wasn't for Crow jumping in, that would have happened, you know. Even though they had to take care of Crow later because of the injury, he was very much the reason why they made it to Atlas, or at least made it to Haven Academy. I'm getting town in it. But yeah, I don't know. Crow, I appreciate Clover just giving him all the compliments and like being like, yo dude, acknowledge yourself, you're awesome. So yeah, thank you, Clover. I'm just really liking that relationship. It may be having some romantic undertones. It may just be very supportive bros, you know. We could use either, you know. I wouldn't be mad with either. Especially when Crow seems to be the new Blake Belladonna when it comes to shipping. He's just being shipped with everyone. And also Team Funky. I'm really happy to see Team Funky back. It was very nice to see their new outfits, especially for Neon. Like, Neon. I was going to say, no, Neo, but Neo's the ice cream girl. Don't give characters similar names or just like one letter off, because I will eventually word flub the difference and then question the difference because I overthink. Did I say the right thing? It was very great. I'm having some Volume 3 vibes. Maybe because of seeing them, I started having the death flags during the maiden talk, because it's very much, this chapter's been reminding me of Volume 3, I guess. All the other chapters were making me feel very Volume 1, Volume 2 with comedy, and the comedy in this episode too, but then we very quickly kind of like had some weird Volume 3 undertones, especially with Amity Arena is a big reminder of that. Penny is a big reminder of that. Seeing Winter help Weiss with the glyphs is a big reminder of that. Seeing them talk about maidens is a big reminder of that. I feel like we're being set up. This episode is very much making me feel like, yeah, we're being set up. We're being given all the happy light tones now, just so it could hurt more later. So yeah, that's a thought. Anyway, I loved this episode, and guys, I hope you tell me what you thought about this episode, because I really want to know what you thought. This episode just laid on some like things. I feel like it's mostly just set up a lot of stuff. This was very much a setup episode, and it gave us like all that like transition at the beginning of showing like the teams kind of like becoming more official. Like, I guess like they got their licenses, and now they're getting into the groove of what it's like to be huntresses, and it's nice to see. But it was also like, oh yeah, we're kind of breezing through this, but we did get the really thirsty moms. It wasn't as in depth as I would have liked, because I would have loved just a whole scene of Sean just helping the kids and the moms going, oh boy, you know. But what we got was pretty good too. I feel like out of all the episodes, this one felt the most filler, except for the very end and the beginning. I don't know. The first part with the whole thing felt like a filler, but anyway, I'm excited for the next episode. This was very good. There's a lot to process and rewatch. So anyway, guys, I hope you like this episode. Please give it a like and subscribe, and as always, I will boop you next time.